Hi, I'm Hovik from Ness Law, and I'm here to answer the most common Google questions regarding dog bites. What you should do if a dog bites you. I honestly think that the most important thing to do immediately after a dog bite would be to document your injuries. And what I mean by that, it's important to photograph any and all marks left on you by the dog, and that could be puncture wounds, it could be scratches. The second most important thing you should do would be to hire an attorney. An attorney, we're able to kind of bridge the gap between you and the potential defendant. That could be a very hostile relationship, and I don't recommend you speaking to any defendant personally. Let us handle that for you. You know, a seasoned attorney is able to kind of do an investigation. We're able to pool homeowners insurance policies to find out what coverages are afforded to you. We're also able to find out who owns the property and ultimately find out who owns the dog. The last thing, is also important is if you're able to get as much information regarding the dog and the owner or the property it came from, that would assist the attorney in their investigation. It'll kind of get the ball rolling and we're able to pick up right where you left off and kind of get your case closed out sooner than later. Who is responsible in the event of a dog bite? The dog owner is going to be 100% responsible for any attack or bite caused by their dog. In addition to that, in certain situations, you may also be able to hold the landlord responsible for a dog attack. This situation comes up if a renter has a dog, that dog attacks you. You may be able to sue the landlord for the attack by the tenant's dog. In order to do so, however, you would have to show that the landlord knew or should have known that the animal had dangerous propensities, basically that they have a viciousness, that they're vicious in nature. Do you need to see a doctor in the event of a dog bite? Yes, even the smallest of dog bites requires medical attention. I highly recommend that my clients get checked out for any dog bite that may result in infection. And obviously, the more severe the dog bite, the more likely it is that they're going to require medical attention. In addition, it's very important to document your injuries via medical records. The insurance companies are not going to take your word for anything. They want to see medical diagnosis, they want to see x-rays, they want to see opinions by doctors, attesting that you suffer these injuries. Do you need to report a dog bite to the police? The answer is no, but it's highly recommended. Calling the police out to an incident will really benefit you in the long run. The police prepare a police report during their investigation, which basically outlines all the facts that led up to the incident and post-incident. It also contains a lot of vital information that's useful for your claim. For example, it'll have witness statements, it'll have witness contact information, and also it'll have any contact information for the dog owner. What happens if the dog owner says you provoked the dog? Honestly, it doesn't really matter what the dog owner says, and it doesn't really matter if you actually did provoke the animal. California, we have what's called strict liability for dog attacks. That means that all you really have to show is that the dog did attack you. It doesn't matter how it happened, when it happened, why it happened. Just showing that the dog merely attacked you is sufficient to be able to hold the dog owner liable for your injuries. The dog bit your child who's under the age of 5, and whether or not that has any special circumstances on your case. The answer is yes and no. So the claims process for any victim, regardless of age, is the same. We do our investigation, we find out who the dog owner is, and we ultimately hold them responsible. We wait until our client has completed their treatment. We would never settle any case prior to that because then we would never know if our client's damages exceed what we're demanding. In the event that we do submit our demand package to the insurance company and we settle on behalf of the minor, great. It's in the event post-settlement where there's a difference between a victim being a minor or an adult. In the cases where minors are involved, any settlement must go through the court for court approval. It's what we call a minor's compromise. We would have to petition the court to open what's called a blocked account, and those proceeds, which are intended for the minor, are insured they are for the minor when the minor becomes 18 years old. What if you are not sure you know who owns the dog that bit you? That could be a bit troubling or cause problems for your case. Dog ownership is vital to be able to hold someone responsible for the injuries that caused you. In the event that you don't know who owns the dog, you would then have to know where the dog resides. Through residency, we're able to then find out ownership or responsibility for the animal. So one or two, or ideally both, is vital to be able to have a successful dog bite case. How much compensation you'll get for a dog bite? That is an impossible question to answer. Settlements for dog bites vary significantly from very highs to very lows because there's so many factors that go into evaluating a dog bite case. For example, the location of the bite plays a major factor. A bite to the face obviously is worth more than a bite to the thigh. Along the same lines, did the bite result in any scarring? Is there any permanent disfigurement? All those factors need to be considered to be able to evaluate your case. Also, male versus female plays a factor. Age of the victim plays a factor. So there's way too many factors to take into consideration to be able to properly give you a value your claim. How long do you have to file a dog bite claim? Dog bites in California carry a 2-year statute of limitations, just like any other personal injury. So you have up to 2 years from the date of the attack to file a lawsuit.